Ruth Leona Nazarlanchena was born at an early age in Spanish Fork, Utah, August 24th, 1918. She was the third child of Orson and Rebecca Nazar. Here, flanked by her older sister Mary Ann on her right and Dolph on her left, the family moved to Cali, Wyoming, and lived in a log cabin sort of like this one. Here in Cali, Donna and Cassie were added to the family. This was a time of learning and helping for Leona. However, in trying to help her mother with sewing, she accidentally forced her mother's thumb into the machine's mechanism, causing great pain. When she was 5, the family moved to Aberdeen, Idaho, where Leona worked around the house and in the fields. 3 other siblings were added: Shirley, Eleanor, and Glenn. Babysitting and chores around the house filled her life, along with school, but she found time to go out to the fence where the grass was green and the gooseberry bushes hung over the fence, a perfect place to eat and read to her heart's content. In spring of 1936, Leona was asked by her father, Orson, to come to St. George and help her run his market. She did so and later received her much-awaited diploma from Aberdeen High School. After that, Leona stayed in St. George and got a job as a waitress in a local cafe. In about 1940, a friend of hers said, "Why don't you move with me to Los Angeles?" She did and got a job at the Owl Drug and Pharmacy. At that time, she met a young man who came in with his aunt for lunch. Her fellow employees asked her to go down to serve them, as they could not understand his broken English. She must have served him well, because they married on June 15th, 1941. They honeymooned at nearby Catalina Island, where they enjoyed the beach, biking, and going out on a glass-bottom boat. They rented a bungalow like these. Leona continued to work at the Owl. However, she did not like the smell of the garbage men that she was asked to serve. Then a friend told her about a nearby aircraft factory where they could get employment and earn more money. Leona became the equivalent of Rosie the Riveter in support of the war effort in World War II. But then it was time to turn her attention after the war to her family. Here's Pat. Young Lonnie with hair. "1949 brought Phil into the picture. And 1953, young Rebecca Ann was added to the family. Leona was always encouraged by her sisters to come and spend more time in Blanding, where there was plenty to see, lots of family, and opportunities to work in the uranium mine. They thought it over and decided that Blanding wasn't this time a place for them to be. And Leona always said that, what goes on in Blanding stays in Blanding, if you know what I mean. Back in Los Angeles, Leona got a job at Save-On drugstores, where she became a pharmacist assistant and worked in cosmetics. She worked for Save-On for over 25 years. When World War II broke out, Leonard and his mother were separated in the Ukraine. After many newspaper ads and letters to find each other, Leona and Leonard were successful in bringing Olga to the United States. A joyful yet tearful meeting was held at the Los Angeles International Airport as they welcomed Olga. On the way out, Olga asked Leona who the other woman was. Leona remarked, "Why, that's your sister Annie." More tears of joy were shed at that great reunion. Leona enjoyed having Olga live at their home, but her patience was tried. Leona and Leonard had this beautiful bush that they tried to grow along a wall in their backyard near the swimming pool. Olga thought the bush needed water and dipped out of the chlorine-rich pool water. Well, that was the end of the bush, unfortunately. Leona and Leonard and family enjoyed trips, especially those to Utah to visit family and friends there. On one such visit to Duchesne, they passed through the beautiful Heber Valley, and there in Midway purchased a lot in the late 60s. Upon retiring from Save-On and the food industries, they built a lovely home in Midway in 1977. About the same time, the Nazers started to have family reunions, first of all in Blanding. Other reunions were held in Mapleton, Midway, Copperton, the Dude Ranch, and Camp Jackson. But it seemed that Blanding was their favorite site for all the Nazers and the growing family to get together. In Midway, Leona told Leonard that if they were going to have any social life, they better join the church. Leonard was known as a dry Mormon, just needed to add water. And with the help of family, home teachers, and the missionaries, he was baptized in June of 1978. He and Leona were sealed in the Provo Temple in September of 1979. Leona enjoyed serving in the Relief Society. She enjoyed many callings and service given to the sisters there. She and Leonard enjoyed working at Swiss Days every September. They enjoyed having family and friends at their Midway home, celebrating many fun holidays and family gatherings. In June of 1991, Leona and Leonard celebrated their 50th wedding anniversary with many family members in attendance. In 1995, she and Leonard were called to serve a family history mission for the LDS Church for a year. They extended another 6 months after their year's service. In 1997, Leona was not feeling quite well. Doctors did tests and found that she had 3 blockages which required bypass surgery. She came out of the surgery well and kept at her pace of doing many things for family and friends. A few years later, she and Leonard hosted the Ukrainian Olympic luge team at their home while they were training for the 2002 Olympics. Leonard and Leona also served as volunteers for the 2002 Olympic Winter Games and the Paralympics. The challenge of living in the mountains, snow, being away from family, and driving encouraged them to move closer. So they moved to South Jordan in 2004, which they hosted family and friends, both young and old. Leona's life was exemplified by hard work, being an optimist, and enjoying her family and her friends. She and Leonard had 4 children, 19 grandchildren, 28 great-grandchildren, and 21 great-great-grandchildren. Please now enjoy some special moments of Leona and her family.
Fairy tales can come true. It can happen to you when you're young at heart. For it's hard, you'll find, to be narrow of mind when you're young at heart. You can go to extremes with impossible schemes. You can laugh when your dreams fall apart at the seams. And life gets more exciting with each passing day. And love is either in your heart or on its way. Don't you know that it's worth every treasure on earth to be young at heart? For as rich as you are, it's much better by far to be young at heart. And if you should survive till 105, look at all you'll derive out of being alive. And here is the best part: you have a head start if you are among the very young at heart. And if you should survive till 105, look at all you'll derive out of being alive. And here is the best part: you have a head start if you are among the very You'll